Dracula. Congratulations, Frankenstein. Congratulations, Wicked Witch. I will contact your employers after this meeting unless, of course, there's an anger incident between now and then.
Somebody in the cast brings in a script, then the next stage in that process is a gigantic fight.
We'll either come in with a premise or some kind of idea, and we will go up on stage and improvise that idea. We'll come off stage, the director and your fellow ensemble will say, the part about the nuns in the foxhole really worked, that line was really funny, that line was really dumb. Let's play this part up. So then someone will be like furiously writing down notes.
We say that it's improvisation to final product, and that is true to an extent. Old school Second City, they used to do pad sets, which are where you take a big pad of paper, you divide it into quadrants. You get suggestions from the audience. They would do that at the end of their 2-act show, and then they would go on a 10-minute intermission, and they would go backstage, and they would come up with scenes inspired by those suggestions from the audience. They would essentially write them backstage in 10 minutes, and then come out and improvise them. And then they would re-improvise them to the final draft.
Are you getting angry with me?
No, I'm under control. Relax, Dracula. Relax and think about how comfortable your coffin is in the basement. How pleasant the Transylvanian dirt smells. Yes, I'm there.
Somebody just brought in a concept or an idea, and then other people would throw in their take on that, and there was always much better buy-in that way. So when we collaborated that way, usually things worked out a little bit better.
We still do that sometimes at Second City, but what is actually more common is that in a rehearsal setting, we will have the actors, the cast of the show will bring in a bunch of pitches that they care about, or the director will run a material generation exercise, some sort of brainstorming exercise, and we'll improvise a little bit around.
Once the writer has seen you be the actual flesh and blood physicalization of their idea, then it sparks brand new ideas, and lines that were improvised will then become part of the sketch, or maybe something that wasn't in it before will get put in because the actor made such a strong character choice.
Did you have to control your anger all this week?
Yes, me walking on sidewalk, and bad man strikes fire for cigarette.
Whatever did you do?
Frankenstein monster begin feeling meltdown. Frankenstein monster say, think about killing bad cigarette man. Frankenstein monster remember anger management. Frankenstein monster take deep breath and think, oh, Frankenstein monster. Good. Frankenstein monster. Let me forget about fire. Frankenstein monster, don't have meltdown.
Somebody wanted to do a scene of a farm being auctioned off, and so we thought of just different sort of archetypal characters who might be at a farm auction, and Kevin Crowley played this hilarious auctioneer, and we hit on that topic, but most of it was humor coming from the characters, but it had just a slight satirical undercurrent of that topic. So that was a scene that actually, wound up being successful, and everybody felt like they had their own bit in that scene, and it was a nice, fun scene because it was fluid, and there was room for improvisation within it every night, so it stayed fresh.
Before it's put on stage the first time, I'm first and foremost the gatekeeper. The Second City director functions as a combination of theater director, where you're actually staging the pieces, making sure that they look good, telling the actors where to walk. Typically as improvisers, they can make a lot of those choices on their own, but I'll come in and be like, hey, we're sitting this whole time. Let's make a choice to, if you stand here and you cross here, it'll be more dynamic. I'll work with the musical director to add some underscoring or some sound support. So all the things that you normally do to a play to make it look good. I'll even talk to the actors about their motivation, right? It seems like you don't know why you're saying this bit. Writer, what was your intent? Their intent was that, I'm not reading that. Or, oh, you're trying this other thing that wasn't the writer's intent. Well, if that's the case, then you need to do this to still get the laugh. We have those kind of director conversations. And then lastly, I will give just structural notes and or rewrite notes.
When an actor auditions for any sketch review or any kind of scripted acting work in general, you show up ready and available, clean slate, ready to take the notes from what the writer and the director have already established. Sometimes you'll only get the age of a character and some kind of a trait like very cranky old woman. So as an actor, you automatically click into, oh, this is my character choice, and I'm gonna be Schram.
And sorry, Kid White, I do not think you're ready to go back to work. You still have anger management issues. But I'm afraid we'll get you fired.
I'm melting down! Melting down! Oh, what a world! What a world!
Does Frankenstein monsters insurance pay for class?